Okay, we'll quickly recap the things we did before the curfew. If you cannot hear me by chance, tell me. I have some mic issues in the computer. Sometimes you may not hear what I'm saying. So if you don't hear in the middle of the lecture, please inform me. So we have done up to chapter 4 fully. So we started with, if I quickly recap the things I did. So we started with the basic template creations, and we did some tutorials. So initial stages we did the template creations. Then we had some exercises and tutorials. So these templates were created. Then in chapter 3 we looked at the wall function, wall tool. So we discussed this wall tool in deep, and we did some exercises. Some of the things I think I skip in the wall tool, so we'll try to recap them again. So these things we did. So I hope you can remember the basics now. Then in chapter 4 we discuss windows and doors. So we showed you how to add the interior and exterior windows and doors. Then some important concepts like wall opening, those tools. So chapter 5 is where we stopped our lesson. So I think we have done this how to select the elements, how to use move and copy tool, how to use the trim and extend, cut paste tool. I think we haven't done. So if I haven't done anything in this set of slides, please tell me. Rotate, mirror, and offset tools also I think I have covered. So if I quickly go through this, we started with the selection methods. Then we had the filtering tool. Then copy paste I think I haven't done, but I did this move tool uh, and the copy tool, element copy tool, then trim and extend tools. So if I haven't done it, tell me. If you want to recap these things, also tell me. I'll quickly do it and show you. Then we have, I think I didn't do this cut and paste in tools. So we'll look at this in detail, how to use the cut paste tools, copy paste tools later. And rotate tool I think I have done. Then we have mirror tool, offset tool. Did I do this offset tool? Can I know from someone? Anyone is there? Did I do this offset tool? Excuse me. Can anyone tell me whether I have done this one or not? Can't you remember? Is there a batch rep here in the batch? I need your feedback. I don't know whether you are listening to me or not. So
Yes, sir, we are here.
We are here, sir.
I want to know whether I have done this or not. Offset tool. Can't you remember? In AutoCAD we heavily use this tool, but in Revit we don't use it like AutoCAD. So I'll quickly recap. Say I think you haven't done that. So we look at how to use.
Okay.
I think I have done mirror tool and the rotate tool. This thing I didn't do. Cut paste, trim tool, trim and extend. Then we have copy elements, move elements. Yeah, so I'm going through every slide. So if you haven't done anything, tell me. I think we have done the selection tools also. So we quickly look at how to use the offset tool in Revit. So I'll take an example and show you. I hope you can see my screen. So if you cannot see my screen, tell me. So we will take an example. Say I start with the architectural template. So where can we use these kind of tools? Now, if you have a say building already drawn, say I just draw a rough sketch. So first I'll show you the usage of this from a single wall. So this is the single wall. So I want to have an offset wall some meters away from this one. So we can select this modification tools, and under modification tools we have this offset tool available. Same symbol like AutoCAD. So if I run this offset tool, there are two ways, two methods of doing offset. In AutoCAD, you don't find this graphical method. In Revit, you have numerical and graphical both. So you have to select the element. So select the wall. So these instructions are given in the bottom left-hand corner what to do. So if you cannot remember the software, don't worry. Instructions are given in the bottom left-hand corner. Select a wall or a line to offset. Press tab to select a chain of elements. So if I just select this, some offset happened because I have given this length as 1 foot. So I'll redo this. I'll change the length, say 10. And if you select the element like this, depending on the side you select, offset happens. So I'll escape and have only one line. Redo this. Offset, say 10 feet. Numerical method, I'm getting a copy. So you just select the side of the wall, it automatically gets offsetted. It's a very fast tool. So you can get offset of the single element and get multiple elements like this. Now, if you have several walls, something like this. So if I want to run the offset, can be done quickly. Just select run the offset tool, give the numerical gap, and I'm getting a copy. Copy means I'm keeping the original one get a copy. So when you select the side like this, it's coming. So here I didn't select this element, but software says if you press the tab key, you can select the chain. So if you haven't pressed the tab key, you just select this and this one. Automatically this joining happens. So no problem. We can quickly join it without manually. Automatically this will happen. So the interesting usage of this one is if you have a building, something like this. And if you want to have a wall covering the building, say parapet wall, I don't need to actually redraw this, so don't want to use the copy tools. So if you want to have a parallel wall going uh, externally or internally, I can quickly use this offset tool and do that. So 10 feet, copy. This time I'm going to press the tab key. You can see when I press the tab key, quickly it's coming. So I don't need to select wall one by one. Pressing the tab key will quickly allow you to get a offsetted wall. So these is also possible. So you see the trimming happens automatically. I don't need to cut and paste cut these. Now here it didn't happen, so we have to use this trim tool. Corner trim tool can be used. So I hope you understood how the offset tool works. And there's another offset method available called graphic. So what is the usage of that? So if you need time for these things, tell me. I'll give you more time to practice. So if you have two computers, it's really easy. You can look at my screen from one computer and practice from the other computer. So if you have it, just it's a great thing. So otherwise, you have to look at my screen and look at your screen also. Then it may be somewhat difficult. So I'll give you time in between the tools. So we'll use the offset tool and show you what happens there. Other graphical method. Now I'm going to use the graphical method in offset. Graphical is you don't give any numbers here. You don't give numerical value. So graphical tool I have selected. Then go and select this wall. Say I selected the wall, but you see nothing happens now. It says click to enter offset starting point. Now I can't give a numerical value. So you have to give that numerical value in terms of some graphical method. So I selected this wall to offset and say if I want to uh, offset something like this gap. So we can select this point and show the software that I want to have that gap from offset value from here to here. So if you select the middle point, software automatically calculates that offset value. So I hope you understood. So here I didn't type any numerical value. I just pointed out the software that I want to have offset gap uh, equal to equal to the distance from here to the midpoint of the wall. So if I do it again, if you want to repeat the things, tell me. Offset, select the wall you like, and it says click to enter offset starting point. So offset starting point can be anywhere. Say if I have a starting point somewhere here and come to here, this gap is created. So this is something like without doing any calculations, you can use the offset tool. So if you have something like another wall like this, so you want to have this same gap in this side. One way is you can come here and measure the gap. You have tools like measuring tools. Come here, from here to here I have this value, but this value is not a full number, so I have to type. I have to use the decimal point, so it may be difficult measuring from here to here. So we don't do that. Now we have the graphical method. Select the wall you want to offset. Graphical, from here to here I am having a parallel wall like this. So this is the usage of graphical method. So you don't type any values. So I hope you understood the concepts. Is it okay for you? I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes. You just practice, and if you have any questions, tell me. Okay, shall we move on to the next tool?
Yes, sir.
So we'll do some tutorials after we discuss these things. Uh, then we have array tools. I think we did this. Did we do this? Did we get some copies like array, these kind of things, radial and
Yes, sir.
linear arrays? Did we do it?
Yes, sir. We did.
Okay, so I hope you can remember. Shall I quickly recap the things? I'll quickly recap by example. So I'll have a row array. So I want to have a copy of these rows, say 10, any number. So we can use a copy tool. Copy tool will be somewhat difficult because we have to do a lot of copy. So we will use this array tool available here. We have two methods. So first select the element. Then you can start the tool in two different ways. One way is you can select the row and run the array tool. Then directly these buttons will appear. Otherwise, if you just you directly use the tool and select the door, these buttons will not appear. So you have to press the enter key. So it may take some time. So you can select the tool and select the door and press the enter key, or just select the door and directly start the tool. Then you don't need to press the enter key. So I hope this method is faster than the previous method. Just select the door and run the array tool. Then you don't need to press the enter. So these methods will quickly pop up. Then we have the linear and radial methods. I am using the linear method here. We have second options and last options. Second option is I am measuring from the first element to the second element. Last option is I am measuring from first element to the last element. So here I am using the second method. I need the say altogether 5 doors. So you can measure from the center or some from a corner. Just measure from the center for this case and type the value say 10 feet. You'll get the full set of elements 5. This 5 is equal to this 5. So here also I can quickly change it. So when I change the numbers to 5 or any value say 3, this total length will be getting reduced. So the gap is constant, it's maintained. So if you press the active dimension tools, you can see the dimensions also. And this is a group. So you can have you can see these there are small dotted blue lines, meaning that these are in a group. So if you want, you can use the ungroup tool and ungroup the elements. But if you ungroup it, you don't get the array properties back. Say I can increase this and quickly it can change. Now if you ungroup this, now there is no array. This guy is separated, but these guys are in the array still, but you can't change the numbers to 4, 3 and change the number of doors. You cannot do that. So ungrouping will uh, say dissolve the array properties. So we will look at the last method now. So you have this method, last method. Last method is if you know the gap between the first one and the second one. Sometimes the uh, gap is not a full number. Say the 41. So I have a gap from first one to the second one. Last one has 41 inches, 41 feet. I want to have 5 rows in between them. So this method is somewhat easy because people will think in this pattern. So we have a full wall here. I want to have 5 doors in between the first one and the second one. So when you change this one to 3, you can see this last one and the first one will not change, and the middle ones will only change. So if I have 10 here, software tries to pack the doors as much as possible. So if I have 15 here, it will do it, but it won't give you an error. say it won't give you an error. It will do it, but construction wise this may not be feasible. So you can have some wall in between the doors. So I hope you understood the concept behind the first one and the last method, second method and the last method. Second method, it will decrease the total length or increase the total length of the doors. In the last method, it will maintain the gap from the first one to the last one always, and it will change the in between gaps. So we quickly look at how to use the radial method. So I will draw a arc shape wall. Now there's another door like this. So I want to have a radial pattern. So we'll select this door, use the radial method now. So you can see there's a tick mark for group and associate, meaning that it's automatically creating a group, and when you change the number of instances, it will automatically change the array size. So I'll have this mark readily available, and radial method. Now when you use the radial method, it we need to select the center. Now the center is automatically selected in the door center. This is not a good point because I want to have the center in the arc. So we have to use this center of rotation tool here and change the center to the arc center. So arc center might be somewhere here. So I want to figure it out. So it may be somewhere here. So here it is. So you need to select this arc center. Then this line is freely floating, meaning that you can measure from here to, you can start measuring from here even. So if I just start the measuring from here, so the protractor will start from here or here. So if you just select this point and use the second option, I can measure from here, say 20 degrees. Then I want to have say 6 doors. This is the way we do it. So I started the 0 degree from here, 0 to 20 here. But if you do it this way, I'll do it in another way. Change the center of rotation. Center of rotation, you have to figure it out here. And measuring can be done from here even. So it's up to you to decide whether I'm going to measure from here to here or from here. So you can see now the measuring happens from here. Say if I press 20 degrees, same outcome can be taken. So we look at the last method. Center of rotation, it may be here. Measure from here to the last point, say 120 degrees. 120 degrees. Then this is the full arc. So are you okay with this? Any problems with this? You can try it and see. Now if you want to have something like a English flag, say I want to have that English flag, say uh, the cross. So if I have something like this, if I want to have something like a English flag symbol, so we can use this radial tool. Now the rotation happens in the center of the wall. So you can give say second, and I'm measuring from here to here, say 45 degrees. I want to have altogether 4 walls. So this is how we take it. So the center is here. In these cases, center is here. So I didn't change the center of rotation, automatically it picked up. So I'll do it again. Array. Center is here, no issues. Just select from here to here, 45 degrees. And total number of elements are 4. So I hope you understood the concepts. Any problems with these two array tools? Okay. Shall I move on to the next one? Okay with the radial and linear tool? You need more time? If you want to repeat anything, just tell me, I'll repeat it. Anyway, the screen is going to be recorded, so you can view the recorded version also later. Shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, sir.
So we will look at the align tool. I can't remember actually we haven't done this or not. So we'll quickly recap. Say this is easily forgotten software. So we had 4 months or 3 months break. So I hope I think you haven't practiced these things at home. So we quickly look at these things again. Aligning tools. So aligning tool is something like uh, say if I want to align this wall with this wall, we can do this. Now the alignment happen, and you can see a lock appears. So that is a manual method of doing it. So I'll undo. So you can just drag it and drop it to the required wall alignment. So this is going to be somewhat difficult if you have a lot of walls to align. So I will use Now if you have this lock here, what happens? When you change this original one, this one follows. So when you see a lock in Revit anywhere on the screen, that means there is something, some connection between some parents and children. So this may be the parent, this may be the child. So always now it's moving. So we can unlock it, then it will not move with the parent. So now this is somewhat difficult if you have a lot of walls to align. So there's a direct tool available in Revit to do this called Align tool. So Align tool is available under modifications. So it says to select the, please select a line or point reference. So we have to select the reference. Reference can be here or in the middle or in this internal line. So I'll select top part, and the alignment line now appeared. So we can select this. Quickly the alignment happened and I can have a look. Now if you try to align this wall, what will happen? Uh, so if I want to do multiple alignments, we have to select this button. So there's a tool called multiple alignments. I have to do multiple times. So select that one. Otherwise, this will be only one time operation. So I will do it multiple alignments. You can select whatever the faces you like. I think we have discussed this. What is the call here? Wall faces, wall center lines are available. So I'll select this as the reference. Multiple alignments. Say this can be aligned to here. Now when I try to align this line to here, there is a error pops up. So it says can't keep element joints. Now alignment happened, but there's an error popping up. Why is this error coming? Now if you just select the cancel, it won't happen. So I'll redo. We have to we can't say okay because there's an error. So in Revit there may be some errors appearing when you do the work. So you have to always read these errors and understand these errors and do some rectifications. So it didn't happen here. That error didn't appear here, but it appears here. Why we are getting an error without error here and error here? The main problem here is what happened to this middle wall. So when you align this one to this, the middle wall, this middle wall was deleted. So Revit thinks that is an error. So here when we do it, that didn't happen. This wall extended. So extension is allowed in Revit, but not the deletion of wall. So this may be a huge error in a drawing. So it thinks this is an error. That's why it pops up an error. So this part was deleted. So you have to do what? You have to rectify that. So this wall should be deleted. So you have to unjoin this wall from here and here. So unjoin happens. There are 2 points to unjoin, this one and this one. Unjoin. Then you have to delete this middle wall. Now error vanishes. Now you can get the alignment. But here you can see there's a joint happens here. This is not a single wall in here. So there's a joint. So how can I merge this? So one way of merging is just take it out and merge it like this. So this is the easiest way of merging a wall. So I'll undo this. So this is the result we have. You can just to take it inside or just take it out like this and again join like this. So otherwise what will happen, if you have a joint in the 3D view, you can clearly see that line. So that joint is clearly visible in the 3D view. Even in the real views you can you can see that line appears. It may be unnecessary in the draw. So I hope you understood the alignment tool. So when you get an error, please do some rectifications. Here also we can show it. same error will come here. Sorry, small. If there's a tiny gap, it won't come here. The same error comes. So you have to unjoin from 2 points from here and here. Unjoin and in. And there is a wall joint pop-ups. Manually you can drag it and join the walls and take a continuous wall. So I hope you understood the align tool in Revit. Just do it and see. I'll give you some time. Just practice and see this example. Okay. Now we look at matching tool. Matching tool, I hope in AutoCAD, people who have used AutoCAD, you may have heavily used this match properties tool. So Revit also has that tool. So here, if you want to say this is a different wall, exterior brick on CMU, this is just a basic wall, generic 8. So if you want to match the properties of this wall to here, we can quickly use this modification match tools and select the parent and the child like this. So automatically this matching happens. This wall properties has been matched to this or else to this. So I don't need to come here and now I can do this way also. You can just select this and from the list also we can find it and match it. But it may take some time. So if you are doing a big project, it's maybe not infeasible. So we can quickly use this matching tool and match the properties of this guy to here. Always match the properties of this wall to this. But mind you, you cannot match the properties from wall to a door. So those are two different families. So I cannot match this wall property to this door. Cannot do. So those are like humans and animals. You cannot do it. So we cannot match human properties to a cat. So that's the same theory here. You cannot match the wall properties to a door. So same family members can be matched. So that may be an interesting tool when it comes to editing. So please remember that tool also when you do your Revit designs. Okay. Shall I move to the next one? Okay, I will look at some important tools now. Deleting tool, I think we don't need to discuss it thoroughly. You have the delete button available. So in case if the delete button is not working in the keyboard, now I use the delete button. You have this delete tool also available in Revit. So if you don't have the keyboard delete tool working, button working, you can use this delete tool and press the enter key. It can be done. So you can select this one and press the delete. It will work. So that's not a very important tool because we have the keyboard delete button. And there's another interesting tool called splitting tool. Split tools, split with gaps. So I can't remember whether we have done this or not before the curfew. So we will look at these tools now. Split element, split with gap. So split element is if you want to say split this wall into two, quickly we can split it. So now the splitting happens. Now I can change the material. Say I just come here and change it to a different wall. So quickly we can do this editing using the splitting tool. Now if you want to merge this again, I have discussed this merging. Manually we can merge like this. Now it becomes a single wall. And there's another option available in split tool called delete inner segment. So if you just select 2 points like this, automatically the middle part will be deleted. Otherwise, it's just a single split. So if you just select these two, it will not delete the middle part unless you select this. So how can I merge them? Like, you can just manually merge it, take it inside like this. It will merge. And there's another one called split with gap. That is somewhat different from this. So here I have to mention the gap, joint gap. Say I'll have say 2 feet. So once you try to add 2 feet, it won't work. So the gap is maximum allowed gap is 1 foot. So you cannot have 5 feet, 3 feet, even 2 feet is not allowed. So you have only 1 foot gap. Maximum minimum is 1/16 of an inch. So this is good thing when you create some small gaps in the walls to accommodate some say air or whatever the other things. So we cannot have 2 feet. We have 1 feet. We can have maximum 1 feet. So when you select this point, automatically it will divide the wall into two halves, and this is zero point 0.5, this is zero point 0.5, and this is 1 foot. So I'll redo this. Give the gap. Just select a line, a point like this, and automatically the splitting happens. Now how can I merge this? Now here when you click on this split, lot of locks appears, meaning that you cannot just merge it from by dragging and dropping. You cannot just merge it because this gap is maintained by the software, and there's a lock for the gap. So if I unlock it, you can try and merge, but merging will not happen. It's just a joint now. Merging will not happen because it's not allowed. So we'll have to allow the merge. Now select this. There's a tool called allow join. So allow join should be working, but from this side also I have to allow it. Now it will work. So I'll do it again. Now allow join should be allowed from this wall also. So both should agree. Then we can join. So it's not a uh, quick method like the previous case. Now this will allow you to move the wall. This will allow you to join the wall this side, of the wall, and here also click here. I think this is okay now. Come here. So I redo it quickly. Split with gap. Give a gap say 1 foot. Now I have a lot of locks here. Unlock it here. Allow join from this side. Allow join from this side. Comes and hit. Are you okay with this? Okay. I don't get any feedback from you guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Only one or two are speaking. Others, I hope you are okay. So if you are not okay, tell me because I can't see your faces. So when I do it in the lecture, I can see from the faces whether you have understood it or not. So we can come to you and help. Here we don't have that facility. So any questions always welcome. So shall I move to the next one? So I have almost covered everything here. So we have covered the align tool today, move copy tools. If you cannot remember the things, tell me. I'll quickly recap. Offset I did today. Mirror, pick axis, draw axis, rotate, trim, extend. These things I think we have done. Cannot remember? Tell me. Pin tool, unpin tool. I think we haven't done this. Other things we have covered now. So pin tool is what? Pin tool is like we are pinning the drawings to the screen. Now this can be moved, no issues, no problem. This will be extended, it will happen. Now if you pin this wall, what happens? I can't drag it. It's like it, I have pasted this wall to the screen. So we cannot do any movements. So if you see this kind of a symbol in Revit drawings, the designer or the draftsman has uh, restricted the movements. So this, if you want to unpin, just click on this pin unpin. Now I can move this, no problem. So if you think that someone will edit your drawings accidentally, you can pin the things. Or when you do a complex design, sometimes when you do editing here, these areas may also edit automatically. So you can quickly come here and pin the other areas and do the editing in this area. So otherwise sometimes accidentally other elements may change. So to quickly come here and pin it. Now these will not change. Only this area will change when you do some design changes. So I hope you can understand that tool pin and unpin. So when you import some libraries, when you go here and we can import the libraries from factories. Sometimes these libraries also the original designers may pin their drawings to avoid unnecessary modification. So if you see these symbols in the drawing, you cannot do modifications. You cannot drag and drop here and there. Always unpin and do it. Same with the lock. Lock is also a restriction. So pin is also like a restriction. Then we look at the hammer tool available here. So this is called demolish tool. So if you see drawings like now you may do some constructions in an old building. So you may demolish the old building. Say you have a plan, you have a old building and you want to remove some areas of the building. And it should be shown to the customer or the mason who does it. So you can use this demolish tool and mark the areas that are going to be demolished in the future. So if you see these kind of dash lines in a drawing, in Revit drawings, that is the idea is these are going to be demolished in the future. These are temporary things, and it may in the final stages these will not be appeared in your design. So actually you have these areas in our syllabus. We cannot cover these things. You can have phases in your designs, like the initial phases, construction phases, likewise. You can have your design divided into phases, and now here I have only two. You can have a lot of phases like foundation phase, wall phase, roof phase, what else? Floor phase. Likewise, divide the project into phases and get quantities in different phases, and we can have demolished phase here and put our demolished drawings in the demolished phase. So you can have your drawing split into phases and do some quantity calculations based on that phases even. So if I just show you an example, in the schedule quantities tools, you can select the phase. So if you want to get the new construction material cost and other things, you can get it. Or else all building material cost, you can get it. Or the quantities. Or now if I have a demolished phase, we can get it. So I don't have time to go through that thing in your syllabus. But remember, we can have, say, I'll just get a new, sorry. Say if I just create a demolished phase. Now nothing is marked as demolition. All are done in new construction. So I will undemolish this. I'll quickly do it and show you what is the meaning of this tool. So we have only two phases now. This is out of the syllabus, don't worry. We can create a new phase, demolish phase. Demolish. Now I have all building. The things we are going to demolish and the new construction. So we'll have it. Now I'm going to the demolish phase. You cannot see anything. So existing, you can't see anything. All are done in the new construction phase. So if I mark these things as demolish, this is going to be demolished. Existing, new construction. I will go through this later. Say there's some error popping now. But remember, we can delete these things. Sorry, we can create different phases and go to QS table. And now this demolished phase is coming. So you can get the material cost and other quantities from the demolished phase, or as all building values or the new construction values. So that is the usage of this phase tools. So phase tools can be incorporated with the demolish tool also. So if you see drawings like these things in the Revit drawings, understand these are temporary things. So if you have something like a door here, And if you demolish this wall, this door also going to be demolished. Door cannot be survived without the wall. So if you want, you can demolish the door only. Okay, so remember that can be demolish the entire wall or the door only. And I forgot to do this tool. We'll quickly look at the split face tool also. This is split wall, split elements. This is split face. So if you want to split only the face of a drawing, like if you want to have colors, two different colors, this side green, this might be yellow, so you can split the wall face on. So this tool will split the entire element. So you see it's going to split the entire element, and I can delete this. So it's not the thing I'm going to discuss now. There's a tool called splitting face. uh, Select a face to split into regions. So this is the face I'm going to split. Then you click to enter line starting point. So now I have to use these drawing tools here and say from the middle line split this way, and once you do it you press enter. So now this wall has been splitted into two, but not from the middle, only from the face it has been splitted, not from the middle. So we can apply a paint. So I'll just apply a paint and show you how it works. So the paint libraries will automatically be loaded. So material libraries will automatically load. So I'll select a material, say carpet, and click on this. Yes. Now the carpet material has been painted here. So if you just look at the real colors, you see it has been painted. So this side is carpet, this side is just the normal wall. So this is done only to this face, not in the middle. If you look at the back side, nothing has been done. So I hope you understood the concept here also. Press done. So I'll redo this. So you can observe that I went to 3D. I didn't do this in the plan view. It's very difficult in the plan view to split the faces and apply the paints. So I went to 3D mode and did this. So we have to go to split face tool. Select the wall you want to split. Then have a, even you can have some closed drawings like this. No need to have an open loop. This is a closed loop. Okay. Now the middle area has been splitted. We can come to the paint tool, and these libraries will automatically comes out. If you don't get these libraries, there is an error in your software. So you have to have the libraries, material browsers, and select this middle area. So I have done to both faces. I'll do it again, and will be in the consistent colors. Sorry. Okay. Have be in these consistent or real colors, otherwise you may not see after the paint has been applied. Paint, select the paint type you like and select the area. This way you can apply. After applying the paint, you press done. So this is how we paint the wall. And if you want to remove the paint, there's a tool called remove paint here. Just select this area and remove. And if you want to remove this split, just select this and press the delete key. It will be unsplit. Okay. So I discussed this split face tool as well as the paint and the paint tool, and applying paint and removing paint, and demolish tool. Any problems with these three? Please tell me. I'll give you 2 minutes to practice. Just tell me if you have any questions. Okay. Now we look at these cut tools. Where can we use these tools? So I'll show you an example. So I will draw some brick wall like this one, exterior brick on CMU. Now if you want to insert another wall inside this, say I have drawn some wide length, some broad wall type. So if I try to draw another wall inside this one, say generic brick. So I'm going to draw this here. What happens? The first one is we are getting a warning saying highlighted walls overlap. One of them may be ignored and those kind of things. So now if you look at the wireframe model, there are 2 walls here. Say if I just take this out a little bit, this is the situation. Now materials are going to mix up. So here you can't see a clear boundary cut, meaning that this material is going inside and it's penetrating. So now if you want to remove the material here, what can we do? We have to cut it. So cut this area. So we can use this modify tools, cut geometries. It says select element to be cut or host wall. So this is the wall to be cut. This is the cutting tool. Now you see this is the result. Nicely it was cut. So there is no material intersection now. So I hope you understood the concept. So if I just do it again, I had a wall like this. I am inserting another simple wall like this. Now there is a warning pops up because of the overlapping. So if you want, you can increase this height or decrease the height. Say I'll just decrease this height this time, say 10. Now when you look at from this wireframe methods, you can see the hole inside. So now the materials are mixing now. It's not the real situation. So we can use the cut tool. So if you want, you can have a nice pattern here also. So I'll have a pattern. Sorry, linear. I'll do it again. I'll have a linear pattern for the last. Something like this. Overlapping all appears. Then what I'm going to do, and if you want, you can do this in the plan view even this way. Use the modification, cut tools, select the material to be cut. I want to have multiples. This is where we cut it. So when you look at the 3D, now this is the situation. So you can see if you want to draw something like this, I cannot draw this wall, again another wall, again another wall, again another one. So this is going to be time consuming. So easily you can draw a big wall and draw a small wall like this and use the cutting tools and get something like this. So if you want to uncut it, can be done reverse. This is uncut. So it can be reversed without any problems. So I hope you understood the concept here. Any questions? You can try it and see. Try it and see. I'll give you some time. Are you okay with this?
Yes, sir.
So we will look at, did we do these group tools? I think we have done.
Group two.
We haven't done. Anyone can remember whether we have done it or not?
Yes, sir, we did it.
We did it, but you cannot remember.
Yes.
uh, okay, so we quickly do it. We have some more tools, similar tool, pinning elements. I did scaling, diagnosis, ID. So we will, before coming to the group tool, we look at creating similar elements. So creating similar elements is like there's a shortcut keys. Try if you can remember the shortcut keys. It may be really useful when you do it. When you do the drawings, it may be fast. You can complete the drawings quickly. Uh, so how can I use the similar tool? So we have this brick. Now if I want to create a similar wall or similar door, what can we do? One is we can go here and take the wall type and again redraw. Other ways we can just right click and use this create similar tool. So this create similar tool will get all these properties of the wall and you can quickly redraw it. Now this comes when you have big drawing. Say I have a door here. I have another door type. Say I'll just use another door type. Now if you want to create this door here or this door here, one way is you can come here and get it from here. You can look at the name here. Name is 3684 and come here and select the 3684 and 3684 and do it. But it will take some time. Easiest way is you can right click or use the CS shortcode, create similar and do it here. Now this is similar to 3684. This is also 3680. So this is easy. This is faster than the traditional method. So when it comes to big drawing, you don't need to go here and find the tools. Now some tools are available inside here. So you have to redo all the processing again. So it may be taking some time. So easily you can use the CS tool, create similar tool and do it. So remember that also. Now we have another tool called pinning elements. We have done it. We have completed it. Then we have the scaling tool. Scaling tool is available. We look at how the scaling tool works. Now in Revit, when you do AutoCAD drawings, you heavily use the scaling tool. So if you have a big building, you scale down the building and draw. But in Revit, we don't do that. AutoCAD, we may use scaling tool heavily, but in Revit, I think when we do our tutorial questions also, we didn't scale it down or scale down. So why we don't do that in Revit? Because Revit is a parametric software. So if the building is a very huge building, no worries, we can do it. We don't do scaling down in Revit because if you scale down, because this is a 3D drawing, so if you scale down length only, it won't work. You have to scale down the width as well as scale down the height. So when you try to scale down length, width, and height, all we can't get a real costing. So we cannot give a we cannot measure the areas, we cannot measure the volumes, and we cannot get a real value of these models. So that's why we don't use the scale tool in Revit heavily like AutoCAD. So but we'll see how it works in Revit. But I personally recommend not to use the scale tool in Revit. So we will look at this. This is the scale tool. We have numerical scales. Select this and enter. Numerical scale. So if I just apply the numerical scale 2 times, just select the base point something like here. You see it's scaled up, but it's only scaled up in this length direction. It didn't change the width twice. It didn't increase the width 2 times. It didn't increase the height. So if you look at the original height, it's 20 feet. It won't change to 40 feet. It's on or stay 20 feet. So a scale tool happens in only in lengthwise, not in widthwise or not in height. So now remember that it won't happen in all the 3 dimensions, only in 1 dimension. So no, that's why we don't use this tool heavily in Revit. If you have a big model, say this is 30 feet, even 1000 feet model, we can do it, no problem. So we don't need to scale down. So it's there. Only thing is you have to scroll the pan the window like this and see it. But you can model it even though it's 10,000 feet. Oh, sorry, it has a limit. 10,000 it can be done, but when it comes to 30,000 inches, that's the limit. Say if I have 31,000, cannot be done. So normally 30,000 is enough. So remember that we don't heavily use the scale tool in Revit because of this problem, because the width is not going to scale up or the height will not change. So scale tool is not really a handy tool in Revit. And we have these other measuring tools like diagnostic tools. We'll look at how to use them now. Now we have these tools. Measure between two references. Now I'm going to modify that, and we have measure between two references. So we can select this point and this point and measure. So it shows the diagonal length. So if you want to select, recheck your drawings, use these methods. Now it's still working. So if you want, you can go through all these corners and get the total length. So the total value is mentioned here. So if you want to have only one segment, use the chain option. Then only one length can be measured. So I am unticking this chain. Now I can only measure this length. So now I cannot get the total length. So if I have the chain option working, we can quickly get this chain value. I hope you understood that. And here we have this dimension tool. Some of the dimension tool we have already discussed in the class. So we will go through all these things in a separate lesson in detail. Now another tool available in Revit is called select element tool, element ID tool. So what is the usage of this? Now every element has an ID in Revit. ID means something like a unique number. So you have a unique number to this element, another unique element to this unique number to this element. So every Revit element has an ID. So if you want to inquire the ID of this element, you can select this element and go to manage and get the IDs of selection. So it will show you this ID number related to this element. Why we need this ID actually? So if you have a big drawing and if you want to communicate some information to a overseas friend or another partner, remote partner, you cannot say this wall, that wall, do the modification to this, that, and it's very difficult to find. So if especially when you do a pipeline design, you have a lot of fittings. So if you want to change a fitting, and if you want to figure it out what is that fitting correctly, so this element tool is very handy. So if you have a door, this door has an element ID, so I can go to manage inquiries and get the ID of that door. So this is automatically generated number. We cannot do any changes. We can't modify this element ID. So when you share this project with someone else, you can always use these IDs and communicate. So if you want to search from ID, so if I just copy this ID, there's a tool available called search select by ID. So you can always search this ID by using the shortcut. So this is the ID here. This is the element which relates to this ID. So I hope you understood. So this is a very easy way of figuring out. So when you do a big project, no need to tell the names or the other information. You just tell the ID name, ID number, then the others can quickly find what are the things you are talking about. So remember that every element has a unique ID in Revit. Okay. So I didn't do cut paste tool, copy paste tool. Still, uh, I'm referring to this. I haven't done this still. When we move on to the other chapters, I'll come back and cover this. So before winding up for today, we look at the grouping tools again quickly. So some of you told that you can't remember the theory. So I think I ask you to practice these questions also. This tutorial question is based on the group tools. So we have this window, and this window is mirrored copied to here. This was group, and this one again mirrored to here, and these two are mirrored to this side. This was mirrored to this side. This is mirrored to this side. So lot of mirror tools have been applied, as well as the group tool. So you can do these tutorials at home and uh, get used to the software. So here also the same thing has been done. Window size is given 3648. You throw a small window here, then that window has been patterned here for and group, and get the mirror this side, This was again pattern to here, pattern to here. Here also uh, you have a window and you have pattern to this entire art. So you can try these things with the group tool at home. So I will look at the group theory now. Quickly recapping the things we did. Any questions up to this point? Any questions? So I think there are no questions. So we look at the group tool in detail now. So I will have a small example. No need to draw these walls, but I'm just showing you the usage of this. So I will import some furnitures. You can go to components. Say I'll just get a desk here and I'll try to get another furniture. Say we can go to load families and go to furniture folders. And say I'll get a bed. So I took a desk and a bed. So this desk I will take a copy. So we can run the copy tool. So this is a copy. Now these are two desks. Say I'll take a copy of this also. Another bed. So I have some arrangement like this, then it's easy to explain the theory. You can have door windows also, no problem. Now I'm going to group these guys together. So if you take a pattern, automatically then those will be grouped. But here I didn't get a pattern, I just copied. So I don't get a group facility automatically. So there's a tool called group here. So I'm going to create desk groups and bed groups. So we'll give a name, say here desk. It's a model group, meaning that we are using 3D models here. So if you are doing annotations like dimensions, you can also group them. Now here I'm going to do 3D modeling. So I'm going to model, I'm using this model option. Say press OK. Now we have to add these elements. So I'm going to add this desk and this desk. Even this can be added, but software doesn't identify this as a desk or this as a bed. So I just gave the name desk. So these two will be added to that group. Finish. So if you want to remove it, you can remove. If you want to attach another one, you can attach it. So we will not do that. Now we just add two beds to the group. Press OK. Now a blue dotted line covers up the two desks, meaning that this is a group. So if I just go through here and look at the properties project browser, here the desk group has been created. So whatever the groups you are creating, it comes in. But when you have pattern, that groups are not coming here. So this is done by you. That's coming to this area. Now we'll try to group this one also. This is called say bed and Now the bed group has been also created. So I have bed group as well as desk group in the project browser now. So I hope you understood how to create the group. Now if you want to remove one member, you can always go here, select the edit group and remove this guy from the group. Now this is single member group. Even still the bed group is available. Now if you try to delete, it's not going to work because there is a member in the group, you can't delete. So if you just try to edit group and remove this guy even, now these are individual cases. It says last member was excluded, removed or moved to the project group instance has been deleted. Okay. So you see desk has been now deleted. There is no group concepts now. So there are no group module, desk module available. Okay, I'm undoing. Now it's back. Now if you want to add this element again, just click here and go to edit group and add this guy again. Now it's back to no. And this is the center of the group. This is the coordinate center. We can change it to here and there, no issues. But taking to the middle is going to be somewhat difficult again. You can change the references to whatever the place you like. So adding again. Now the center coordinates in the middle. Here also the coordinates is in the middle. So if you want, you can change this origin a place where you like. And there's another tool called ungroup. Edit group means you can add the members, remove the members. Ungroup. Now what happens? This member was removed from the group. This member also removed from the group, but the group stays here. So if I just try to delete it now, this can be deleted because there are no members inside this group. So it's like a society which has no members. So it has a group has been created, but there are no members in the group. So you can delete them. So if you want to add these to the group again, sorry. Now it's back. So I added the members again to the bed group. So I hope you understood the concept. So you have to know how to create the group, how to edit the group, and how to ungroup the group. Linking is you can link another file even. So we haven't done this theory. So if you are doing a big project, you can go to insert and link Revit files, link AutoCAD files. So a lot of linking can be done. So if you want to if you are linking the other files also, those files instances can be also added to this group. So that's what it says linking. So I hope you understood the concept. Now we look at how to do some editing in these group members. So these modification tools are working with the groups also. You can copy a group, you can move a group, mirror a group, cut, paste, rotate, all these things are working. So no problem with those tools. And there's an interesting call called swapping groups. So if you want to swap these two positions, the easiest way is people who don't know the Revit, they may try here, come here and do the swapping. So that is not the correct way or the fastest way. So you can just click here and from this drop down I can swap it. So you see it's quickly swapped. So the origin to origin match. Now this can be changed to desk. So the origin of desk is matched to the bed of the origin. So if you just select this origin here, now the origin here is matched to here. So the desk is coming here. So you can see it. I have changed the origin. Now it's coming. So that is the important thing about origin. So origin to origin match is happening in this case. So if you have this origin here, and now I'll take this one bed here, and this guy comes and hit here. So we will look at it now. You can see it. So that is the important thing about origin. So I hope you understood the concept of origin. Now both are in the middle. Now quickly we can alter the designs and ask the customer whether this is okay or this is okay. And now there's another one called removing elements. Now if you have something like this, I'll take a copy. I just press the control key and just drag it, so you can get a copy, no problem. So pressing the control key will allow you to get a copy. So I'll take a copy. Now suppose if I have something like this desk is going through the wall. So I want to remove this, say I don't have space. So I want to remove this member from the group, this instant. So I cannot come here and edit the members. If you edit the member, what will happen? If you remove this guy, all these other fellows will get affected. So these are now removed. So I want only to remove this, not the others. So I cannot do that remove method. I cannot use that remove method. So what can we do? So temporarily I want to remove this guy from this group only, not from the others. So we can come here and press the tab key. So when you press the tab key, it's highlighted in blue. Now you can right click and use this exclude tool available. So what happens here, I excluded the element from this group only. These are unaffected. These are unaffected. So, but when you come here and hover the mouse over this group, you can see, but that member is not there. Real member is not there. So if you want to take it back, you press the tab key again and right click and restore this. Are you okay with this? Now have some example like this in your computer. Come here and press the tab key in the keyboard. It will be highlighted. Right click and use the exclude button. It was excluded. And if you want to restore it, come here and press the tab key again. Sorry, come to the element and press the tab key and restore. So this is a really interesting function available in groups. If you don't have space and if you want to remove some elements from the design, don't dissolve the group, don't ungroup, just remove that unnecessary instance. Click, right click, exclude, and take it back. Come here, press the tab key, restore. Okay. Just do it and see. Pressing the tab key is really important in this case. Okay. Any problems? In my slides also it's mentioned. Place the cursor over the element, press the tab key. The blue color icon will be displayed. Alternatively, right click and select exclude, right click and restore. So you have to remember this, especially this tab key in this situation. Actually, these things I am teaching you like I am doing for the architect batches. So you may not need all these things in your profession, but just I'm doing the basics fully like architect graduates. So if you have any concerns, tell me. These may not be needed. Hello. Any questions?
No, sir.
Others are okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now we look at more facilities available in Group 2. I created bed and desk. Now we can save these groups for the future projects. Now, if you are doing these same designs again and again, you can save these groups for future work. So it's like a library. Now you are going to you create your own libraries. Now this, if you need this bed arrangement in a future project, you can save this in the computer and use. So how can you save this first? Now when you right click, you can't find any save tools. Only some basic zoom tools and other things are available. But if you right click on this model tree here, you have this save group button. Okay, so I'll save this. We'll save it in a easy place to find. Say I'll save it in the desktop. So I'm going to save my group in the desktop. As a now it's saved as a project, Revit project. So if when I save it, and when I go and to look at my desktop, I can find my bed group. So it's now saving. Now when I come here and look at my desktop, this bed group is available. Now this is, if you just double click and open this is opened as a Revit project, separate project. So this is a library. So if I just open it, it's a library. So it doesn't, those are individual elements. So that is not the way of opening this. So I'll show you how to open it in a new project. Now this is in the desktop. So don't double click and open. That's not the way. So I'll have a new Revit file. So this is my new project. I'm going to use that bed arrangement in the new project. So how can you load this now? So you have to load this bed group. So it's like a family. So you have to go here and insert the groups. Now this is loading the family. We already know about this. So we have to load the group. So load the group to the new project. Say I'm in the desktop. I have this bed group here showing. Take it to the new file. So it's loaded to the new file, but it's not visible here. It's not coming to the screen. It's only loaded. So I loaded this, but I haven't used it. So I loaded it, and it's now available. So loaded bed group is being can be seen here. So how can I use it? Use it. You can just do what? You can just drag and drop it. So when you drag and drop, these can be used. So these group objects can be dragged and dropped and used in the screen. So if you use, if you look at our whole project also, if you want to use this desk again, just drag and drop. It will work. So you don't need to copy paste from the others. If you don't have anything here, if I want to use it, just drag and drop it multiple times. Also, you can get copies. So this is how we save the groups and use it in the new project. So if I do it again for the desk, I click save group. I save it in the desktop. So if you have your own designs, group them and save it to your future projects. So it's like a family again, but kind of different from families, but similar to family. So I'll just use a new project, architecture. Remember to load it, otherwise it won't come here. Load as group. It's in the desktop. This time it's desk. It's loaded to the computer file, but not to the project, not to the screen. Just drag and drop here, and you can use it. So that is another usage of the group tool. You can try it and see. So the two groups I created are in my desktop now. Get them. So you can try these tutorials at home. Tomorrow also we are going to meet at 9 o'clock. So try this tutorial also. I think you have the old files. Place this window and get the pattern. How can you center it correctly? Those are the issues here. So here also we have a lot of patterns. Just be familiar with these pattern tools. This is also another pattern. So this is a full new project. Yeah, using the commercial template, uh, exterior wall, unconnected I2L. So this is a fresh project. So new one, completely new one. So you can try these things at home, and if you have any questions, just ask from me. I'll upload these things to your LMS soon. So any questions about today's lecture? So we didn't do copy pasting methods only in this chapter 5. So I have to do this soon. So next tomorrow we are going to look at how to how to add some sections, how to get the elevations, how to create the grids, those kind of areas. So tomorrow we are going to look at some viewing tools like how to elevate your buildings, how to create the grids, how to apply the reference plane work planes, and how to get the elevations, how to get the sections. Those kind of uh, things will be discussed tomorrow. So at the end of the day, you should be able to create some sections, elevations, and grids, and visualize your drawings uh, and create your drawing sheets. So these kind of drawing sheets are very easily can be generated in Revit. So I hope you understood today's lecture. Any problems with today's one? So just try these examples and see, and ask me if you have any questions tomorrow. Any problems? Shall we wind up for today? Okay then. If you have any questions, ask me tomorrow. So I'll meet you tomorrow as well at 9 a.m. So tomorrow we are going to look at chapter 6. So see you soon. Goodbye. Thank you for watching this.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.